it's me, Jona, and I'm here with...
I'm Judy Durkin.
I'm Charlotte Weinman.
I'm Joey Sapchik. This is Chandler David.
He's not here yet. These are the people of Worst First Kiss Productions. They're the founders, right? You guys founded it? That is so cool. I think it's amazing. So check them out on social media. I'll link it below. So how did the idea to start the company come?
Well, Joey and Chandler and I were on a three-way Skype call at 1 o'clock
in the morning.
And we were talking about how roles for teenagers in community theater and in the theaters we had access to sort of tended to be a little bit more one-dimensional than the adult roles, like daughter or friend or extra. And we wanted to represent more fleshed out characters that were a little bit truer to our lives as teenagers. And if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So we decided to start a production company.
Wow, that's really good.
Which was seemed a little elusive at the time, but
look where we are. It all worked out.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name?
So everyone's had that terrible stage kiss.
Yeah, everyone who was involved with the company at the very beginning, during those early stages, had a story of like an awful first stage kiss.
Yeah. My guy bit my nose.
My guy was 10 years older than me.
My guy was great. It was fine.
But and Chandler had it.
He's never.
So we made sure to choose a show where
Chandler
had it.
Oh, very smart.
And I don't think it was as bad.
No.
Thankfully.
Well, that's fantastic. So that's really good. What made you want to do Dog Sees God as your first play?
So on that same FaceTime call, this idea kind of formulated around Dog Sees God because we were talking about that play and how it's always done with like 20 or 30-year-olds playing high schoolers, and we were really frustrated with that.
There's a certain level of disconnect that comes with adults playing teenagers when they're so far removed from that experience themselves.
Yeah, we really felt there was a level of authenticity that was just lacking from this really brilliant writing, and we thought that we had the solution to that, and we hope we were right.
And initially, it was actually supposed to be just a table read with friends.
It was
in a living room, and it was just all of us in a circle reading this. And at the end, we all just kind of sat there after Chandler's last monologue thing, and we all were like, "This is really good. We need to do this." And so from there, now we're here at the Fringe Festival.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
Wow. So what do you hope people take away as like a message from seeing it?
I personally hope that people take away a sense of empathy for what it is to grow up. I think it's something that's represented a lot in media, and it's represented and it's misrepresented, and young people can take away sort of a sense of being understood, hopefully, and adults can take away, like I said, a sense of empathy and a remembrance for their experience themselves, and like the ability to compare that experience with the experience of teenagers growing up in our generation, which is so different from theirs.
I was just going to say that I think the Peanuts characters are such a cool way to kind of describe growing up because they're so classic. And I think kind of giving real teenage voices to these characters really brings them to life and kind of, I think, shows teenagers in the audience that they are incredibly valued and super important. And I think that's a message we want to spread.
Yeah. And I think, kind of piggybacking off of what Shar said, we, at least in this play and hopefully in all future endeavors, kind of cover the full gamut of teen angst and everything associated with it, whether that's emotional or the issues we face at school or in our lives, whether you go to school or not, from all things inclusivity like LGBT, gender equality. We kind of try and touch upon all of that, and there's a lot of in this play, this mental illness that we deal with that we're trying to destigmatize. And I think having actual teens who are really familiar with these things and who see them and experience them on a daily basis, bring them to life on stage, really provides a level of connection that wouldn't be attainable otherwise.
And that in itself is also tricky because mental illness is something that is so specific to each person's experience with it, and it's always a total dice roll to show it in the media, on stage, on screen, whatever, because you know the way that it's shown may not ring true for everybody who experiences it. So we wanted to do our best to bring our own personal truth to it, and that sort of ties back to being teenagers. We're living in it, so it's helpful for us to be able to express it in a way that's not our own specifically.
Wow, that was amazing. Are you sticking to plays, or are you going to expand to musicals? Maybe.
Yeah, okay, well we have like those that we've talked about, I'm sure you're like...
And then on top of that, we, everyone in the cast, just for some random reason, happens to also sing. So,
amazing.
We actually have a song in our version of Dog Sees God, which is in the script, and I think it was a way to kind of bring all of, you know, what we had into the show, and yeah, but we love musicals.
Yeah, and if you have any like great ideas of teen-based works,
send them. Worst first kiss, not Dog Sees God.
No, not Dog Sees God.
We're doing that right now.
But yeah, so I think we'd like to keep our options open.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's cool that was set out there to, you know.
We are embarrassed for going in
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. What advice do you have for teens that want to start making a business or like a dream or reality?
We don't get that a lot. We usually get who want to be actors.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I think you're kind of told that it's not something that's really possible as a teenager. But I remember Jona sent me a text when she was in Chicago, because she's going to Northwestern, and she visited.
Ooh.
And she texted me one day, and she said, "Oh my gosh, the Steppenwolf was started by teenagers," which is one of the main theaters in Chicago. And I think there is a lot of proof that teenagers can start businesses and have them be extremely productive. It's just they aren't really talked about that much for some reason. But I think if that is something you want to pursue, just do it. Get a group of friends, because you'll support each other, and yeah, it works.
When Chandler and I told my brother, who was 9 at the time, that this was our plan, he went, "Yeah, if you guys are going to be able to do that." And like 6 months later, he was seeing the show, you know, 6 times in one weekend, and he was like, "I take it back." So it really is possible. You just have to be really dedicated and choose something you love, even if it's not something you're totally sure you want to pursue as an adult. Do something that you're passionate about right now. You still have your life, you still have everything else going on, but you need to know that you like are going to give it your all for that.
And if it's something that makes you happy, the work comes so naturally, and the result, even if it's not, you know, lasting for your whole life, is worth it because it made you happy.
Do it with friends.
Yes.
Friends
Do it
with
with
friends.
Yeah, that can be for like anything. Like YouTube, that's a really good way to talk about YouTube. Like just put on the camera and talk about something you really like.
Now look at where she is.
Look at God.
Don't watch my old videos. It's not an invitation.
We just
No, I called her a nerd, so I think she's reached the highest level of achievement.
Wow. What a time that was. Is there anything else you wanted to say, or like?
Thank you so much for making the trek out.
Seriously.
She came here from big country.
I slept the whole way.
And across the country.
Oh, and it's for us. Yeah.